Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing good. So let us do a problem on LeetCode. This is very different from what we have been doing, but it's very interesting. This is under hard category, but actually if you solve it with peace of mind, and if you get the logic correct, it is not at all hard. So the problem name is minimum window substring. Given two strings s and t of length m and n respectively, return the minimum window substring of s such that every character in t is included in that window. If there is no such string, return empty string. Okay, so what is this return minimum window substring? So first of all, pause the video and try out the question by yourself. You can look at the example test cases and then you identify. So the problem, if I have to say, for example, if I consider any string like this, okay, if I say this is string s and if I say this is string t, what they are saying is I have to find a minimum window substring. So what is this minimum window substring? Basically, it just means smallest substring. And what is the condition? Smallest substring such that all the characters that are in T, all the characters, including duplicates, all the characters, they should be present in this smallest substring. And this substring is in which string? S, string S. That means here, if I consider this string S and this T, I can clearly see that this is going to be my smallest substring. I'll make this O. So this is going to be my smallest substring, C, D, A, B. Because in this substring of S, all the characters that are in T are already present. We don't care about the order. Order is not important. It is just mentioned that all the characters in this string T should be present in this minimum window substring. You can also say that one more answer can be this. See, in this string also, all the characters of T are present. But out of these two, which is minimum? This one, obviously. So out of all the answers, we should return minimum. So what should we return? We should return a substring, which is of minimum length such that it contains all the characters that are present in T. So how do we approach this problem? Well, when we read the question name, minimum window substring, that window word is there, right? When we hear that, we feel like we have to do sliding window, correct? So we have to use some sliding window concept. What is sliding window concept? Sliding window technique is such that we will have two pointers, let us say start and end. Two pointers will be there. Start will be left side, end will be going right side. Okay. We'll keep moving our end pointer such that at some point of time, we will have a window which will satisfy a given condition. We will have a window which will satisfy a given condition. And once the condition is satisfied, what we will do, we will not want to move the end pointer, because in this case, we want to minimize our answer. We want minimum window. So what we'll do, once a window is satisfied, we will start moving our start pointer. From the left, we'll start shrinking the window such that the condition is still satisfied. What condition in this case? In this case, condition is that window should contain all the characters that are in T. That is what the condition is. So we will keep moving that pointer, the start pointer, such that we will still have a window which will satisfy this condition. For example, here in this case only, let us take this example. Okay, so when we are applying sliding window technique, what will happen? We will come to know that this substring is forming a window which is satisfying our condition that all the characters in T are present in this substring. And you can see that clearly start pointer will be here and end pointer will be here. What is the length of this window? End minus start plus 1. Why plus 1? Because everything is zero-based index. Zero-based index, right? So length end minus start plus 1. So let me verify 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So this is 0 and this is 5 index values. So if you do 5 minus 0 plus 1, 6, correct. So 6 is the window size. So yeah, window size will be end minus start plus 1. But now what we will do, you can observe that this is not our optimal answer. We can move this start pointer, which is on the left side, we can move it to the right and we can shrink our window. So start can come here and this F will be gone from our window. This will become our new window. Again, we can move. So Z will be gone and this will become our new window. But if you observe here, now we have reached this stage, CDAB. My start pointer is at C and end is at B. If I now move the start pointer, will it satisfy this? Will this window satisfy my condition that all the characters in C are present here? No. So this is going to be my best possible answer. So when will we keep shrinking the window? Until our condition is satisfied. If it is not satisfied, then we will stop shrinking our window and we will continue expanding the window from the right side. That is, this end point is there, right? We'll start moving that. And if the condition is not at all satisfied, we will not bother shrinking it. We will move. See, end pointer, when to move end pointer. Two conditions are there. End pointer we will move when our given window does not satisfy our condition, or basically when it does not satisfy our condition. That's all. Actually, there's only one condition. We'll keep moving our end pointer, and after it satisfies, what we'll do, we'll try to shrink it. We'll move the start pointer. So basically, this is the sliding window technique. But here, how do we know that all the characters in T are present or not? We need to know the frequency of each character. So to know frequency, we can use map. But better thing to use instead of map is just create a vector of size 256, because there are 255 characters, right? Or you can even do 128. Anything is fine. So instead of using unordered map, in C++ STL, instead of using map and all, we can just directly use like a vector int and v2560. That is, create a vector of size 256, initialize frequency of all the characters to be 0. See, in this example, they have not told whether it's going to be lowercase, uppercase. If they have told, I mean, let me just check that also. Have they told? Okay, they're saying lowercase, uppercase. Well, then it is not a big problem. But if in general they don't say uppercase or lowercase, so for the general case only, it is better to take this 256 maximum characters are there, right? So 0 to 255 is ASCII range. So 256 characters are there. So take this. For what is this for? This is for storing the frequency of each character present in T. That is what it is saying. So I'll erase all this, and what I will do, what I'll do is I will show the code. I have written the code, but line by line I'll explain along with doing the demonstration for this example. So let me show the code also. See, firstly, I am handling those cases wherein answer you will definitely not get. What are those cases? If suppose string S is a null string, if string t is a null string, or if length of s is less than length of t. For example, if my s is something like ab and my t is something like abc, if string s is having lesser length than t, of course you can't find a window which will have all the characters of t. So this is obvious. So that is why you should return empty string, correct? So in those cases we are returning empty string. Now I am taking a vector. This is just like hashing. I want to store the frequency of the characters. So what I'm doing, I'm traversing through string t, and each character I am incrementing its frequency. Don't get confused that character is there and int is here. It will get converted ASCII value, right? ASCII, all are ASCII values. Then I'm defining some variables, int start, int end, and answer start. So start and end, remember this start and end in the algorithm that I am telling, this is to check window. This is for window size. Okay. And one more variable I have called answer start. This is for finding out which index does my answer start. Finally, I have an answer, right? For example, in this case, my answer is CDAB. But how to return this? I have to return this substring. This substring, I need to know where it is starting, what is the index, and what is the length. So index I need to know. That is why this variable answer start. Where is my answer going to start from? That one. Then another variable min length. This is to find out minimum window substring. What is the length of the substring? What is that length? And this count variable, initially count is 0. Count over here is used for what? Count over here is used to check if that window condition is satisfied. If count becomes equal to the length of string t, it means that we have got enough characters and our window condition is satisfied. So count is for that purpose. So start and end both are at 0. So I will, what did I tell? First, I will move the end pointer. First, I will start expanding my window. I will only touch start pointer when I have to shrink the window to get optimum answer. Until then, end pointer. Now, what I'm saying, v of s of end is greater than 0. First of all, what is s of end here? End is 0. So now let me traverse this algorithm here. So what is end initially? End is 0, start is also 0. Okay, so what is s of end? S of end is equal to f. And v of f will be 0 only. What is frequency of f? 0. Because in our example, ABC, string t is ABC. Does it contain f? No. So here, when we are storing frequency, f will not be there only. So frequency of f is going to be 0. If the frequency is 0, then we won't increase our count. Why we are increasing, decreasing count? Count over here is representing what? It is representing that, okay, we are including that character in our window. When we do count plus plus, it means we are including that character in our window. But we don't have to do in this case because f is not even present. So we won't do this. This if condition won't be executed, but this will happen. This is happening because we are moving our end pointer. So we are saying that fine, we have crossed that, we have traversed that element, we will decrease its frequency now. We will decrease the frequency because we have crossed that. Okay. Now this while loop is for when the window condition is satisfied. So count is equal to t length. This is window condition. If it is satisfied only, we will enter. But now is window condition satisfied? No, initially count is 0. So count is 0, right? So this window is not satisfied. What we will do? Simply increase the end. Just expand the window, increase the end pointer. So end was first of all here. Now it came here. Now end is here. So end is 1. Now what is s of end? Again this loop will run. So end is less than s dot length, of course. So loop will run. What is s of end now? S of end is z. Is z present in t? No. What is frequency of z? 0. So this condition again will not be executed. But v of s of n, that is frequency, will reduce it. That means we have reduced and we have traversed that part. We have left that part now. We are going ahead. I'll tell you why. What is the purpose of doing this? When we enter this loop, I will tell you. So now again end pointer will increase. It will go to c because our window condition is not satisfied. Now s of end is equal to c. What is frequency of c? 1. Frequency of c is 1 because in this string c appears 1. So frequency will be 1. So v of s of end will be greater than 0. It means that yes, we will include this character in our window. So count plus plus, count becomes 1. But we will do v of s of end minus minus. So now I think you should understand why this statement is written, because now we are saying that we are traversing that part and we don't want this part to affect our other answers. So that is why we are decreasing the frequency, because we are traversing ahead, right? We are decreasing the frequency. But now is the window condition satisfied? No, it is not satisfied. Again, increase end pointer. End will go here. Let us do it orally. D is present in the string t. No, frequency of d is 0. So it won't enter the while loop because count is not equal to t length. Window condition is not satisfied. Again, move the end pointer a. See, frequency of a is 1. So count plus plus will happen. So count becomes 2. And the frequency of a will reduce because we have encountered one a and we are traversing ahead. So leave that part now. So one frequency reduce. So count is 2, but it is not equal to t dot length. It is not, the window condition is not satisfied. Again, move end pointer. Frequency of b is 1. So this if condition will be executed. So count will increase and count will finally become 3. Count finally became 3. When count became 3, our window condition is satisfied. So now what is the string that we are at? See, we are at this condition now. Okay, so our start pointer is here. Our end pointer is here. And this much part of our string, we are considering that to be our window. Now that window we are considering, that window condition is now being satisfied. Currently, what is the window length? End minus start plus 1. Record this length in min length. So it will enter this while loop now because window condition is satisfied. It will enter the while loop. Now what will happen? We will check if our minimum length is greater than our current length. We want to store minimum length, right? Yeah, it is. So minimum length will change and answer start also will change. So now initially we are saying our answer is going to start at index 0 and length is going to be 6. But now what we'll do, we'll increase start. We'll increase start. What start? But before increasing start, we'll increase the frequency of s of start. Whatever character is there at start, right? We'll increase that frequency because earlier we had decreased. Earlier we had decreased because we had passed that. Now when we are shifting the window only, we'll increase that frequency. We'll restore it. So when we are restoring, first we will do v of s of start plus plus. If it became 0, we will change our count. So if you observe, if we are at this character, now the frequency of f is -1. When I do plus plus, it becomes 0. But it is not greater than 0. So we won't change our count, but we will increase our start. So our start pointer will now be here. So if you can observe, we have shrunk the window. We have shrunk the window. Window now shrunk and it has become small. Same thing will happen for z. Z frequency of z is -1. We'll do plus plus, it becomes 0. It is not greater than 0. So we will move this. So it will come here, start. Now see, frequency of C. Frequency of C is equal to 0. We will do plus plus. It becomes 1. When it became 1, it is greater than 0. It means that, now I'll explain what it means. It means that if I shrink my window further, then I will not be satisfying the condition that all the characters in the string T are in my window. Because when the frequency of C became 1, it means that I have not used that character now. I have not used that character. It got restored in the map. It got restored in the map. I'm not using that character. So my count value will reduce because my count is telling me whether the window is satisfied. When my count reduces, this window condition also will not be satisfied. So in this loop, when count reduces, this condition will fail. And again, we'll start increasing end pointer. So that was the algorithm. That was the sliding window. So why are we increasing, decreasing frequency? Here we are increasing the frequency to restore it back in the map and to check after restoring, if we shift the window, that is if we shrink it, is the window condition still being satisfied? What is the satisfying condition? All the characters in string T should be in our window. But if in the map it has been increased, if I've restored the frequency in the map, it means I'm not using that character. Remember here, decreasing the frequency means that I am using the character. Increasing the frequency means I am not bothered about the character. So that is what is the thing, okay? And again, continue moving the end pointer, that is the right side. Finally, you have to check that if we have not found any answer, if we have not found any valid answer, that is if min length has not changed, if it was int max initially, if it is still int max, return null string, empty string. Otherwise, return the required substring. See, s.substring answer start. We need to pass two variables, right? We need to pass two variables. What are those two variables? The index of the starting point of the substring as well as the length. So pass those two. So I hope you understood this logic, and if you want me to run, I'll run and see. So it is correct. It is giving accurate answer. Okay, so this was the code, and I hope you are able to understand the logic. If you like the video, hit the like button. Please share it with your friends. It might help them. Subscribe to the channel. It will really motivate me. And although this was a hard problem, I think you can code it easily now. The solution will anyway be in the description. Don't worry. So subscribe. It will really motivate. Until the next video, take care, stay safe, keep learning, keep growing, stay tuned. Bye.